Good morning, everyone. How are you? Hello. Today we're gonna use a lot the chat box. So yes, thank you, Lucas, for reaching out. Tell me where you guys are from. I can see a few Indian names, a few Brazilian names, but I'm curious. Ah, from Brazil. Me too. I'm from Rio. Oh, you're in Seattle. We are super close. I'm living in Vancouver. Nice, Porto Alegre, Nigeria, India. So cool. I really love to see where people are from because there are so many different places. No one from the Philippines today. Normally, you have a lot of people from Philippines too. Nice. I always try to wait a little bit so we can see if other people will join. Sorry, without a cam. No problem. You don't need to have the camera, but it's very helpful for me if you do, because then I can see if things are making sense. I can see people nodding, or like let's say my PowerPoint presentation stopped to work, so you can let me know. It's gonna be easier for me, but you don't have to have your camera on. But thank you for turning on. So let's see. I have a question for you. I'm going to launch a poll and I want to know how many of you already did your English verification. So share with me in the, oh, cool. Waiting on the result. Nice. Let's see how that goes. I found always super interesting that people who actually attend webinars, it doesn't really matter the topic of the webinar. It's normally people who are investing enough time. So normally they all have English verification, they have code challenge, or they're about to do, or they're waiting, which is not, I'm gonna share the results so you can see. So right now, 86% of you completed the English verification. But you know what is the real number for VanHack? It's around 11. It changed time to time, but it's 11%. So that for me means you that are here today, just by being here, shows that you're committed. If you already complete your English verification, you are like 10 steps further than most candidates that are at VanHack. And if you haven't, today I'm going to give you great reasons to do so. So I'm sure you're going to like. Nice. I have one more question. Let's talk about code challenge. Code challenge is more demanding, and we're going to talk about like a lot about it today, but I want to know how many of you completed already. Oh, nice. Okay. So let me share the results again. And you can see here, so about 36% of the attendees right now already completed, but 6-4 didn't. And this is another very interesting data because some are not even eligible to do so because sometimes we don't have, let's say, the VOPS challenges, so you cannot do, but you are not being compared. You don't win or lose anything by completing the code verification. But what shows, it shows to our recruiters that you're committed. So although it looks like, oh, but if it's not mandatory, I'm not gonna do. If you do, if you decide to complete it, you are gonna be like showing that, yes, I'm really taking hiring serious. You can see here, even if it's a low score, let's say 50%, a really low score, 30%, really low score. You at least gave your time. You showed that you were engaged. You showed that you're trying. You can always retake. So in 3 months, you can study harder and get like 70. And then when you get to 70, companies will be able to see. So not only VanHack will know that you are putting the effort, the time, and the commitment, but everyone that it's hiring through VanHack will. So that's very nice. And if you go like above and beyond, let's say you found a bug, not complaining about the result, like, oh, my grade is below what I expected, but you actually got to a situation where you found a bug, or you feel like the test could be better and you share with me, then that helps us to make it better for everyone. And then let's say the other day I got a feedback saying that we have a I might mix up the names because I'm not super tech, but I think it's like we had a React code, or no, Angular 1. And then the second question was actually about Angular 2, because for me, it's exactly the same, Angular, the name, but someone messaged me saying like, you know what, I don't think this is the best proof of my resources because Angular 1 and Angular 2 are different. I was able to upgrade and improve the task, and now like very few people actually complete it. So you are in an advantage. It's not like, oh, I got 50. Why did I got 50? We don't provide feedback. So that's not something that you receive an answer that it's meaningful. But if you do find something that it's really an improvement, always share with me. So let me share my screen. Oh, I got one question. Let me see here. What is the question? What do you consider? Okay, I'm gonna give you answers more clearly about what do I consider code challenge done. And then it will be better to answer your question. But overall, good results means above 70. Very soon, we are gonna have like arrows saying like you are above average, you are below average, and this will be a better insight for you. But right now, anything above 70 is a good score. Companies can see, and it will help you with your matching, like the percentage of the matching for the position. Depends on the position. It will depend on the position for something else. I'm going to show you, not code exactly yet, but keywords. Keywords will have impact, a bigger impact. Or if any language is considered done. No, okay, now I think I understood all your question. We are going to analyze the skills for the position that you applied according to the code challenge for that language. So let's say your full experience is React, but you had an Angular task. If the position is Angular, this will be taken into consideration. But if the position is React, it's not going to be a big deal for you. So I guess I kind of answered the whole thing. But I'm going to go through all the steps, all the important steps for getting hired through VanHack. And I think that will answer most of your questions. So let me actually change something here. Let me share in the other screen so I can see you while I'm typing. I'm gonna kind of ignore a little bit. I'm gonna keep like an eye on the chat, but still, please keep keep chatting, keep asking questions, because even if I cannot see your question, someone else can, and maybe someone can answer you for me instead of me being the only one answering. Since some of you already completed, it makes sense for you to exchange information. So I think that that can be quite interesting and it's very helpful. I'm gonna just leave the chat open because time to time I can see. It is your first webinar. Yes, I'm going to send a recording, but even it might take a day or two. If you want to do like right after we finish today, you want to you want to see it again, step by step, we already have on our YouTube channel. So you can go to our YouTube channel and look for steps for getting hired abroad. And I guess it was during the event of VanHackCon. So you can just like right away see the recording too. All right, so let's get this started. So today we're going to talk about profile, we're going to talk about code, we're going to talk about English. For some of you, it may be a little repetitive because sometimes you may know, but bear with me because in between, I bring some like very important insights, things like that can help you to have a even bigger impact on the hiring process that there is pretty much no way for you to know it. So let me know and bear with me, even if you feel like you know most of the things that I'm going to say. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Fernanda. I'm from Brazil. I moved to Canada about 5 years ago, almost 5.5. And I'm actually a petroleum engineer. And I changed completely my career here in Canada. I decided to become a career developer and a career advisor. And then I was able to match both of my skills within VanHack. So I do something related to the logic behind VanHack as well as the customer service that we have. So I'm always thinking about how to improve our best practices, how to make your life easier when it comes to joining VanHack. If you have any challenge with English verification, if something goes wrong, if you have any bugs with the code challenge, I also help a little bit with mock interview when necessary, profile review when necessary. And I always try to bring the networking piece to VanHack through webinars, through messages on our Slack channel, many different ways, because for real, networking is huge all over the world. And it's not about looking for a job, it's about building relationships that will lead you indirectly to a job for the rest of your life. Like, I don't look for jobs anymore on Indeed. I reach out to people and I say, you know what, I think it's time for me to get a new challenge. I reach out to my boss and say, like, I think I need a new challenge. Can I change departments? And that's how things work. So that's crucial for you even after you get the job abroad. But I understand that a lot of people have fears. Fears of, is my English good enough? Is my code grade good enough? Should I have 0 on the code challenge, or should I give it a try for something better? Is it better to have 0, or is it the only good thing is to have above 70? So we are going to talk throughout the way about all those fears that you might have. But what I can right now guarantee you is that we don't charge you anything, because our goal is to get companies a candidate so they can pay us. So for example, you can come to me and say, Fernanda, I applied for 10 positions and I didn't got a job. And I can tell you, yeah, we have candidates that applied for 500. We have candidates that apply for just one. We don't have the full control of the hiring process. What we do have control is to prepare you so you can do your best version on the interview, your best profile, your best LinkedIn, your best GitHub. So you will be that candidate that increases the chance. But even if you apply for many jobs, but your profile is weak, you're not going to get a job. It's a lot more work on you than on us, but we want to make it easier for you. That's the reason we don't charge. The companies will pay only if we find someone that it's exactly the right fit for them. But some companies take a week to hire, some companies take a year, some companies close positions after COVID, some companies open even more. Sometimes they want develops, sometimes they want a QA, sometimes they want a programmer. So we don't have any um, um, power over what positions or how the client want that people, or we don't have power on the process. But everything that we do have power, we are going to make sure that we give you that information. So even if you don't receive an email for like a month or 2 or even 3 months, believe me that the reason you haven't received, it's because you still have a possibility to get that position. It might be lower, it might be higher, but you still have the chance to do so. So besides that, I feel like I touched almost all the fears that are very well common here. But I want to hear from you. Is there any fear that you have right now that I haven't mentioned, or that it wasn't very clear? Please type on the chat so I can try to help you out. But fear, not about the process yet. We're going to get to the process. I'm going to answer those 2 questions. So Guilherme and Wilson, if I don't reply your questions when I'm talking about code or process, please just like type it again by the end so I can get back to it. Yeah. So I'm going to use as a fear, although it wasn't exactly a fear. Applied for 12 positions and I fulfilled all that you mentioned, all the mentioned requirements. So I'm assuming code, profile, and English verification, but it's still no interview or any feedback. I can give you like a list of ideas on how you can improve, and it might happen that none of that helps you, because maybe it's that the position you applied, you took too long to apply and then they already had people for that job. Or it can be that the client was looking from someone in a different time zone than yours. It could be that they actually put the position on hold. So by the time we don't have information, you're not going to have any feedback because you also don't know much about what is going to happen. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to go back to this point when we're talking about the job board. Are all openings at VanHack open state, or some of them be stale state? I didn't understand your question. If you can rephrase, I don't know what open state and stale state would be, so I don't know exactly how to answer. Okay, I'm gonna move forward and come back to your question when you try to explain me what you meant. So VanHack was founded in 2015. We started as an educational platform. That's the reason we are always trying to educate you. We call the Premium Academy, and we are changing a little bit and tweak to make it even better, so you can have more resources about how to improve your English, more resources about how to improve on code interviews, on behavioral interviews, more too, so you can feel ready to get a job abroad. But this is a course. You don't have any advantage from the free version when it comes to hiring. It's almost like this is a school and this is a hiring company. So this is very important, because if you just focus on the academy and you forget to apply, you are not going to get a job. If you only apply but you are not very secure about your English, about coding, about how to behave on an interview, if you're too introvert or too shy, which is the academy support, might not work as well. But we want to make sure that if you are already prepared, why not choose one or the other instead of both? You can. We already have above 2,000 companies in Canada, Europe, and a few in the US as well. We are above our 1,000 clients that were hired through VanHack. So that's a lot of lives changing. It doesn't cost you anything. Of course, the academy, so like the class side, we charge a membership, which is very affordable, but I can show you price later. But if you just want the recruiting side is free. This is extremely important, especially for Canada. If someone tells you, pay me and I'll get you a job, this is illegal in Canada. So this most likely is actually a scam. What we do extra, besides most of the recruiting agencies, we support you with work visas. You don't have to have a work visa for Canada, for Europe, or for the US. We are going to help you with settle in the country that you are relocated, in case you are relocated, and we're going to help you out with the visas if needed. Most companies don't do that. And if you apply direct to the company, they might not be able, they might not have the budget to do so. So there are a lot of indirect points that are quite important. Also, because of COVID, we are now have a new gap of remote jobs where people are using that in their benefit. Let's say a company A is actually hiring remote because they want to see if that candidate's actually a very good cultural fit, and then they can relocate, or they can actually afford more people, because when you are hiring abroad, the salary in their home country is a lot lower than when the company is located. So they are using as an advantage to grow faster, considering that everyone is working remotely anyway. We have around 100 jobs posts every month, but we are going to see what is open today, so we can have this idea if it's less, if it's more, and we're going to talk about it. Very important thing, join our Slack community. If you are premium, you're going to have a premium Slack, But if you are in the free version, we also have a Slack that is for the free members. If you're a female, we have a third Slack that it's female only, where we share even resources about motherhood in the tech industry, how is maternity leave, or how hard it can be to be the only female in the workplace, or how challenging it can be to express yourself when everybody are trying to just speak louder instead of giving logic behind, like sometimes women do, and the other way around. So the idea is that we can touch on subjects that are more related to women in tech. But all of them, we have webinars and resources all the time. But here is the biggest piece that I want you to remember. When we're talking about hiring agencies, any recruiting agent, VanHack included, but any other one, the recruiting agent is actually has a contract with the company. So let's talk about Thinkific, which is a Canadian company that hires through VanHack, for example. Or even better, DoorDash, which is kind of a Uber Eats in Vancouver. They hired over 20 positions with us now. They come to VanHack and they say, you know what, VanHack, we need DevOps, we're going to need a QA, and we need two developers. And then we're going to post this position. As soon as we post this position, if you apply right away within seconds, you have a higher chance than people who applied later. The reason is to make sure that we get commission, that we are well perceived by our clients, that we are that we are how can I say that? That we are in agreement with the contract. We have to send them candidates within 48 hours. So if you send before 48 hours, you have higher chance. But if you apply within, I don't know, an hour or two, you have an even bigger chance. If you apply after that, you still have chances because the company can just come and say, you know what, Fernanda, I didn't like any of the candidates you sent me. And then we are going to start to research again and you can still have chances. But within the first 48 hours is the best chance you have. And on our free Slack workspace, we have a channel called Job Board, and you can have a notification as soon as a position is open. So you can see who is the recruiter, you can see when was posted, and you can apply right away. So even if something happens, you can still reach out to the recruiter and make a connection. Don't come with, I apply for the job, I'm the perfect candidate, because we receive tons of those messages. But let's say you have the exactly certification that is matching the role, or you already research about DoorDash and you think that this is a great opportunity, make it very tailorized, make it very specific to confirm that you are the right candidate and not just I'm the best, I'm the greatest, and it's in a weak way to say what might be the truth, what if it's probably the truth, but explain in a way that makes sense. So also you can have check on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of webinars that can help you out with that, can help you out with elevator pitch, networking, reaching out to hiring people about immigration. So our YouTube channel can be your new Netflix because we have so much stuff, so much content there. So it's huge. But our Slack community, it's very, very important. Okay, before I share exactly all our 4 steps, I want to see if I have any within 2 hours verification test retake or month. English verification, yes, we're gonna get there. It's actually 3 hours and you can retake every month. For example, also company might be posted opening and might close client side, so VanHack knows open and close. We will know when the job is open and closed, but in between, we might not have a lot of information from the company, unless they say we need more candidates or we don't need any candidates at all. Let me just remove the drawing. Clear. Done. I took the test last week, recorded the videos. I'm gonna give more insights about that. Able to test again. The code challenge is different. It will take 3 months. You can retake the code challenge every 3 months, but we are also gonna have more information about that. I'm having problems joining VanHack Slack. It keeps, oh, that's odd. Okay, so Wilson, first thing, let's try with a different email to join Slack. It might be that you left and they are not accepting. I had a couple of weird cases like that, and I cannot invite people anymore. So there's not much I can do. We passed our limit on invites, but try with a different email and email me at fernanda@vanhack.com and we can try to figure out together what happened. All right, so let's come back. Our four most important steps in there. Complete your profile, English verification, code challenge, and apply for jobs. Remember to apply for jobs because a lot of people assume that things will happen. And you have to click apply to increase your chances. Time to time, very specific cases, we're going to reach you. You might see cases on our YouTube channel that actually we were looking for the right candidate, but that's a lot, the rate is a lot lower. But remember that you must do your profile, your English. This is mandatory. Without that, you cannot even apply for a job. The code challenge is optional, but English and profile, it's mandatory. So talking about being the English verification as a full step, I want you to remember to be spontaneous, act like you would be in an interview. So you could wear a tie if that's your style, but you don't have to. Here, our intention is to show you as you are. If you apply for a company that it's a law, about legal, maybe being more formal will help you out, but be you. Be you in your clothing, be you as your tone of voice, make jokes if you are not, if you tend to make jokes, be you. Double check your audio. So after recording your video, play it again to see if your audio is working, if your image is working, if the lighting is good, if you can see your expressions. A lot of people use hoodies or hats, and that can cover your face. So if we don't have enough lighting and we cannot see your face, that it's a bad sign. We might ask you to retake it because this is your first impression. Don't feel pressure about dressing, about clothing, about anything, but be very careful with the message you are sending with with the vision, right? With the tone of voice. So your body language as well. Overall, the length of each question, it's actually 3 questions, and each question can go from 45 seconds to 2 minutes. So it's very short. Most candidates can record in 15 minutes, but this data came from considering that most of the people who complete the English verification are actually fluent or even native speakers. So if you take the full 3 hours, there is no problem. You have 3 hours to complete it. So take your time, read the description, do in your own pace. Don't worry about it. I want to share with you VanHack. Let me just see if I'm logged. No, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna log within my free account so you can see as a free candidate. VanHack.com, go to platform. This is a very good example of the first question for the English verification, so I highly recommend you to check it out. All right, so as you can see, Premium Academy is blocked because this is my free version. I click in the English verification. I can start it again because I already did it once. Here you can see the first question will be, tell me about yourself. Second, discuss a challenge, a technical challenge. And the 3 questions that you would ask after the interview to the interviewer. So, you know, when you finish the interview and they ask like, do you have any questions for me? Always have questions. And here it's like, what questions would that be? You can create lots and lots of information here. So you can see on our FAQ, the details about each level so you can have an idea about what is your level even before starting. I know it's long, it's boring, but my recommendation is that you read so you know exactly where you're getting into. And even furthermore, if you click in start, we have more information in here. So here you can see all the details about each question before recording. And third question here. You have 3 hours. If you don't complete, you're gonna receive a message. If you complete in 3 to 5 days to business days, you're gonna receive the result. Every month you can retake it. So this is our way to make you a better candidate on a regular basis. You can retake every month. So you can practice more, you can study more, and you can retake it. I actually have a webinar on YouTube that in a webinar that I take it every week, every month, which is the next Tuesday. So first Tuesday of the month, we talk about the webinar we're doing today. Second Tuesday of the month is actually about interview. And I make a correlation between our English verification with interviews. So if you want to join me next week as well, same way, come to events and select learning strategies. This month, we are going to actually change. So you're probably going to see that it's not going to be on the 90th. It's going to be on the 9th. Oh, no, sorry. Next week for sure. The other one that we changed, this one is about networking. So if you want to get to know more people in the industry, more about the topic, join me on the 4th week of March. Normally it's 3rd, but this month will be 4th. So always check out our event page. I think that can be a very, very important resource for you. We already talked about English verification, but before we move forward, I want to show you things about our profile. So when you come here, let me just put here the camera. When you come here at your picture and you click profile, it's gonna open some of the same questions you already filled on your onboarding on those screens that you step by step moved. But you can always change. So let's say you moved like me. I'm not living in Canada anymore. I'm back to Brazil. Readjust here. You chose other. You chose not to say what is your gender, but you now understand that we have a Slack channel for females. You can come here and change it again. Add your phone number. This is a very cool feature that we have right now, where we can message you if you got an interview and we want to invite you for a mock interview. So we can message you saying like, come because we have a position for you. Let's do it faster. Or let's say we got this position that you are the only candidate that actually have all the matching. We can call you and reach out through WhatsApp or phone call or even text message. And make my intro video public means that you allow VanHack to share with the companies your English verification, especially the first video. So this is public. It means for the companies, not for everyone, which means that you're gonna have your mini resume in a video. So if that company is not looking for like reading all your resume, they can just see the video and get to know you. That's very good. I highly recommend you to click if it's unclicked it. Let me see questions. Was classified necessary to pursue next. If you are classified as advanced or fluent on your English verification, you have exactly the same potential when it comes to a match. So you don't have to take it again. If you got intermediate or upper intermediate, I recommend you to try it again because you are very close to get fluent or advanced. In my case, actually, my advanced came because I have done so many times the tell me about yourself that it sounded like I was reading from a piece of paper. So I noticed that they put me as, because I'm in the company, I went in the system and saw my feedback, which you won't be able to see. And the guy said, oh, it feels like she's reading from a paper. she's not being spontaneous. So instead of fluent, I got advanced. But because it's the same match, it doesn't really matter for me. I never took it again. For the choice of make my intro to who? Yes. So the who for make my intro video public is to the companies that hire through VanHack. The English level is set by the reviewers. Yes, we have a third party that comes, listen the videos, make some comments for us internally, especially for our recruiting team, so they can have a better sense of your English, and they rate you with a score. All right, so professional overview. What is the job that you are looking for? What is your next goal? You may be in a career change, you may be in a new role, you may be studying something new. What is the one that you want? This is your first option. I don't recommend you to put something that you don't have experience, because this makes your matching percentage go low. So make that balance between things that you already have enough experience and things that you want to pursue. I know that we don't have many names, so choose the one that is most similar to what you're looking for. Choose the years, and this amount of years, the years of experience, remember to pay attention, because we are going to use this number again in experience. So I selected 3, which means in my experience tab, I have to have 3 years or more. Otherwise, you may lose points as well. When we're talking about having leadership, mostly it's as a team leader or a manager, but let's say you did a volunteer job where you were mentoring a group of students. This is a leadership experience. It might be just a year, less than a year, more than that, but this is considered leadership experience, so select it. You know that moving abroad is going to be a big step. You know that you want to have your biggest chances, even if you have to take a few steps back. Select here and tell me what are your steps back, where exactly you are considering, where you feel like you have enough experience to move forward and to be your first step abroad. Top skills, you are going to be better than I can ever be on defining what are the difference between top and secondary, but I'm going to show you something very interesting that can help you out deciding it. So let's go to our job board, find a job, which is the one that opens. Let's say you are a front-end developer and you are considering to apply for this position. You can see here what are the positions and the main skills that they are looking for. So in this case, main skills are Java and Vue, other skills are microservers. This is a hint for you that if you have those skills here, your matching percentage will go up. If you don't, it doesn't necessarily take you down, but it doesn't help to go up. So try to keep your eye in positions in the past and check out if you can readjust your skills in your own profile to have a better gap. So that's it. You can have even more experience in the secondary. It's not about years of experiences. It's about what is in more demand now. Where do you see yourself? What is your biggest experience? How you can differentiate yourself from other candidates. Relocation, straightforward. Remote jobs, yes or no, only remote. What are your priorities in terms of countries that you're applying? This is VanHack trying to understand you better. No impact on the matching. What is your country of first choice? Salary expectations. Do keep in mind that if you select only remote work, normally the salaries are lower than the country where the company is located. So let's say you are considering Canada as the company that you want to work for, but you want to work only remote. Normally in Canada is an average about 60 and 80 on average. It can go up to $120,000 a year. But because you want only remote, I would go with a lower option. If you have status, if you have European visa, if you have Canadian or US visa, if you have a passport, what is the size of the company you're looking for? Are you looking for a job consistently? Are you actively looking for a job? Yes or no? And how long it will take from the day that you tell your boss to the day that you can start a new job. This is called notice period. So, for example, in Brazil, it's normally a month. In Canada, is normally 2 weeks. In India, can go up to 3 months. So select here how long you have to let your current employer know up to the day that you can start a new position. So you can select here. All of that, no impact on the matching, on our artificial intelligence generating the match, but very important for the recruiting, for the person who is recruiting for that position to get to know you. Add your resume, your LinkedIn page, your GitHub page. If you have a website, just go for it. If you need more details on resumes or any other resource, I want to show you where you can have more information besides our YouTube channel, podcast, so on and so forth. You can come to resources. Let me move you guys again here and come to online courses. For example, we have a template of a really good Canadian resume where you can check it out right here. A lot of different courses for free. You don't have to be premium. If you are premium, you have even more, but those are free. We have an event for female coming up, but we had a previous one last year. Even it doesn't really matter what is your gender, if you're a minority or not, if you're a junior or very senior. This is one of my favorite courses. The reason is you also have some resources about companies that hire through VanHack. So you can have that insight and go that step further. A lot of resources about resume, interviews, ebooks, how to master your nonverbal communication. Ask smart questions. This is a ebook, a video, and a ebook that I can show you later about the third question for our English verification. So the ebook is book here. So you can click here and have examples of questions to ask in the end of interviews. So this is pretty much you adjusting for your reality what is going to be nice to ask in an interview. And like I was saying, I love this one because we have, for example, Tam, it's actually a hiring manager from one of the companies that hired through VanHack, and he's giving some resources. Introduction from a few different companies that we had on that. So like Skip the Dishes, like I said, it's a DoorDash, but it's actually Skip the Dishes, Zalando, and others. So this is a really good course. And we also have another really good course for DevOps here. Again, try to think about learning and not exactly the skill that you are learning, because you have a lot of extra resources here. So those are my highly recommendations for you. And coming back to our profile, this part where we ask about languages does not eliminate your need for the English verification. You can say here fluent, but you're not going to be considered for any position unless after the English verification you get intermediate, advanced, fluid, even basic allows you, but from experience, people who get a job, they have neither intermediate, advanced, or fluent. It's very rare that we have someone with a basic English being hired. But remember that you have other skills. So I speak Portuguese, I can understand Spanish, I can understand French. So let's say that the company is in France or even in Quebec here in Canada. Because I do have basic French, they might be even more interested in me because they know I'm not going to struggle on going to do groceries. Or probably the company is going to speak English every day, all day long, but you are going to have a life outside of the work too. And that might be a point of differentiation for you. Certificates, the same idea, you can add as a plus. but doesn't eliminate the English verification. Even if you got like 100 on your CELPIP, IELTS, or TOEFL, you still have to do our English verification. The reason is you might have a CELPIP, which is more informal, or academic IELTS, and we want to know how well you will have in a workplace. So it might be completely different than going through a certificate. Here is where it's going to take some time to explain. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to give you insights so you can reflect upon what I'm saying, and then you can go further and study more. When we're talking about experience, you can just go straight forward and share what are your tasks. So for example, you already know me, career advisor, previous an engineer, very straightforward, Brazilian. So we tend to be very direct. We don't like to flourish things a lot. We like to go straight to the point. But in Canada, the way you describe your career, the way you describe your experience is completely different. So you can say and share with me on the chat after I read all three examples, which one you think is the best. Provide career workshop facilitation and coaching, or conduct webinars about candidate onboarding process, engaging and helping the candidates to complete all necessary steps to succeed in the VanHack selection process. Or, where is it? Facilitated over 30 workshops in the past years with several different career topics such as resilience, job search for newcomers, cultural differences, ATS, networking skills, and many more. So which one you think is the best to use on my profile in North America? 1, 2, or 3? Let's see which one you think. Head coach. Let's see what else. 3rd. Nice. Tell me why you think that. Share with me. What is your perception? Let me put up so you can read 1 and 2. So this is 1 and this is 2. Let me kind of put this stamp here. So between 1 and 2, let's call this 1 and this 2. Tell me why you think it would be 2 or it would be 1 or both works. Bullet points are the best, but the job description, I like that. Very good point. 3rd are achievements. Oh, Lucas, you have been studying. 2nd is more specific. You prefer 1? I like 1 too. Yes, you are all right. I actually agree that both 1 and 2 works well. You have to make a balance between the ones that you're going to give more number related examples, the ones that you're going to give more personality intention. So for example, here I'm talking a lot about me. I'm engaging and I'm helpful. Here I'm talking about numbers, 30 workshops. Is that a lot? Is that a little? They will judge, I don't know. I'm giving them a bunch of examples here of webinars. Here I'm giving fewer examples, just onboarding and selection process. So both work well and you have to make a balance. And I loved that you mentioned the bullet points. I completely agree. It's a lot easier to read with this formatting than like here, or even as a paragraph. But you do you. You can choose if you feel like I'm a good storyteller and paragraphs works better for me. I think I'm going to be able to sell myself better. Go for it. If you prefer bullet points, go for it. It's in your power. So great job. You all got the idea. So now going back to one of our first questions, 12 applications here. I have applied for 12 applications and I fulfilled all the mentioned requires, but no interview feedback. It could be that you can improve your profile. It can be that you have, how can I wrote down here? Where is it? Remote control. No, I don't want to draw anymore. Here. It can be that you are going straight forward and people are not getting to know you. And then when they have more options with more details, they're going to say, you know what, that other person is better. I'm going to go with someone else. It doesn't mean that you're not the right one. I use bold on my resume. That helps. Yes, it helps. Everything that you can do that draws attention is important. Remember the skills that we saw on our job board? Every time you type here, it will bring a few keywords. Those keywords are as important as the skill session that we talked about. So let's say you want to say that you have React. You can just add here, support more than 2,000 clients through an application using React. And then React will pop up here. And this will increase your percentage again. And you are demonstrating how great you are using React and what is your reach and how big is your company, how big is the project you worked, how big is your responsibility inside the company. So it's completely different than just saying able to develop on React. So challenge yourself, ask each other, go on our Slack channel, ask, hey, is there anyone that is a React developer that can take a look on my resume so we can improve? Yes, I'm a React, let's book a Zoom call. And you can share your profile and you can exchange information. We have so many jobs, you are not exactly competing to each other. Look at here. I told you 100 every month. Right now, we have 155 openings. That's a lot of positions. How many people are not putting the effort? And maybe you and a colleague are. Maybe you two get a job, maybe he get a job, and then he's going to tell his boss that he found this amazing person from a completely different country that was super team worker, and then he can get you to get a job. You don't know tomorrow. So keep in mind how important that is. Education, straightforward, license and certifications are very important. In my opinion, considering Canada as an average, even more than formal education. Certifications can be more interesting for companies than formal education. So we also have high school and unfinished bachelor's. Decide, it's up to the real you to share with me what is more important about you. And side projects. It can be volunteering, it can be a YouTube channel, it can be a website that you did for a friend, it can be a small project you worked on, it can be an app that you created for yourself just because you thought that it would be fun to create. This is a side project. But this side project timing, the experience, let's say it took you a year to complete it, it doesn't um, match or it doesn't interfere with your years of experience here. So for example, I said at the top, I don't know if you remember, that I have 3 years of experience as a DevOps. 3 years. If I put only VanHack, I have been in VanHack for less than a year. So that won't be nice. I said 3 years and I added only less than a year. But if I add also my head coach with my own business, I have more than 3 years because I started the company in 2018 and we are in 2021. But if I want to go even deeper, I can add other positions where I can confirm that I have even more than 3 years. Because as you noticed at the top right here, I say that I have 5 years of experience with Java. So the more experience you add, different from your resume, the more you have on VanHack profile, the better for your match. How to delete and edit a current experience. All you have to do is click at the name of the company and will pop up and you can add it right here. I think I missed info. Could you come again to the profile opportunity helps to move with the process? I will get there. So you click on the title of the experience. Oh, thank you. I love when you guys kind of help each other. I think that's the future. Talking about process, I'm gonna go over a little bit on time because I haven't talked about code yet. But if you have to go, remember I'm gonna have this recording. But try to stay because it's a lot more fun when we're doing live than actually uh, afterwards. So about moving process, the best place for you to check is my job. So in my case, I applied just to show you, so you will see that nothing is moving. But let's say you are just joined VanHack. We are gonna tell you what are the top 10 positions based on your current profile that we think it would be interesting for you. And you can just come here, the three dots, apply for a job. As you can see, right away, move to apply. It may take time to move to an interview. It may be even longer to get your offer, and it may come where hired or rejected. But this is the easiest way for you to have an idea about the process, how you are moving. But on top of that, we always have emails, Slack, messages, and other ways to do so. But this card will move according to your position. Um, Hopefully, we're gonna have more blocks in the future, but I guess this is a good idea. I don't know about Visa. By the end, I can give you an idea on where to look for resources. Okay, so let's come back to our presentation. Up to here is, oh, let me take advantage of being here. So here's our Slack. Can you see my Slack channel? Cool. So here's our free Slack channel. And here is the job notification channel that I told you about. It's not to post anything, but you're gonna say, so Alan just posted 2 hours and a half ago, a senior software engineer. Go there. If you're a senior software engineer, go there. You have a bigger chance than someone who's going to apply tomorrow, and even bigger chance than someone who applies in a few days. So that's how you can have information. But don't add comments, because this is not a channel to talk, to share. It's just to have notifications from VanHack, so we have it clear. Let's go back to presentation right here, present. So code challenge, very straightforward. You started, you have 24 hours to complete. You have every 3 months to retake it. It is optional, but it's recommended. On top of that, the reason why we only give you 24 hours to complete is because we try to stick with what our supplier says, that it can take between 3 and 5 hours, 3 and 6 hours. So we give you like four, if it's six, so 8 times more time. So you can actually go through and have more information about it. All you have to do, let me go back to VanHack page, is come to code challenge at the top. Read the description of how it works, because you want to have more details about what it means. We already said, why is it important? What is the right challenge for you? If you should skip or not that you have 24 hours. And here is a really cool resource about scoring. A lot of people assume that all the tasks that you have on the platform are the full tasks, but we have hidden tasks as well. So come here, read those descriptions, take some time to read the fact, and then start. I think that is the biggest difference between people who get high grades and intermediate grades. Then you can come to see your code challenge. All you have to do is click in Start New Challenge, choose a challenge, read the information. If you read the fact, it's going to be the same. Apply, it will redirect you to our supplier. You're going to have more information here about the position, about the code. You can see here that you have 3 different exercises for this one. You can see more information about those challenges. You still have 24 hours, which means that maybe each challenge will take about an hour, considering our supplier recommendation. I don't know, you can take longer, you can take shorter. You can try to see how it works. You can do it as a practice, or you can come here and start right away. After you click start and you really started right here, you click here again, you are telling VanHack that you started your code challenge. And then the clock will start to count 24 hours and you are gonna have other information here. So I'm gonna start to show you how it works. You answer, you click run tests. Some of the tests will be run, not the hidden ones. You submit the solution. Second question, run task, submit solution. Am I moving? No. Next challenge. Second challenge, submit solution. Third challenge, submit it again. And if you stop right here, you're not gonna have your results right away because you still have time to come back. And I still have some errors I have incomplete, so I can come back. But if you did your best, even if you have errors or it's incomplete, but you did your best, you don't know how to improve on that, submit the whole thing. After you do that, it will take a little longer, just a few, I don't know, an hour or even less to show on our platform. So right here, not even a minute. Because we help you out with some insights on the code, even not doing anything, I already got 33%. And I got the grade right away. Because I never clicked on start for real, I still have some codes that I only read the instructions. That's the reason I can still retake. If I want to retake Python, I can do 3 months from today. So June 2nd, June. Does that make sense? 24 hours, retake every 3 months. Some tests you can see, and there are extra hidden tests. I think that's the biggest point for the code challenge. I don't want to on the presentation here. Great. That's all. We covered all the steps. We did in a different way because we spoke about about applying for a position in a different way, but we covered it all. If you have real issues with code verification, with English verification, let's say that something very crazy happened. I don't know, the neighbor's dog start to bark and mess up your English verification. You can always message me. If that's something that it makes sense, we will help you. Our idea is to help you. It's not to make it harder for you to get a job. Remember, we only make money if you get the job. But we don't want to make it easier so everybody can have 100 or everybody has as fluent. We still want to differentiate you. We want to know if you read the instructions, if you understood the challenge, and if you did your best, and then we're going to be able to help you. It's not easy to get a job abroad. It's not fast to get a job abroad, but we are trying to make the easiest possible for you. Now I'm going to get back to questions. So I'm going to stay another 10 to 15 minutes answering random questions. But if you do everything we spoke up to now, that's great. You're going to increase your chances for sure. So let me read here. I'm going to come back to BCPMP later just because I really don't know. Can I put a certificate of completion and license and certification sections? Yes, you can. In HackerRank, they have easier, medium, and hard challenge. What levels can be expected on code challenge? We are not using HackerRank anymore. We are using Qualified.io. They also have easier, medium, and hard. We have chosen medium and hard within the challenge. So for example, that one that had 3, most likely 1 or 2 are hard, 1 or 2 are medium, but there is no easy. We don't take any easy there. So starting the challenge from VanHack platform itself doesn't start the timer. No, just after you confirm starting inside Qualified.io. But I will just forward to me the qualified website. Yes, we'll just forward you. Yes, I guess that's a good way to put it. Only when I click the start the assignment in Qualified, the 24 hours timer starts. Yes, that's right. That's fully correct. How to request mock interviews? Is it when the recruiter finds me the right fit for the job and they will schedule the mock interview? So the mock interview is after you already got an interview with the company. So the recruiter liked you, they send the company your resume, your profile. The company said, yes, I really want to meet a DP, I want to meet Luca. So let's do that. Then you're going to receive, here is an invite for a mock interview. We're going to prepare you for the interview and you're going to book a real interview with the company. Cool. Very good questions. I want Slack to be informed about the job posting. Yeah, that would be nice. We are changing. We change so fast. Being a startup has its benefits. So maybe in the near future. The companies we are applying for provide an open work permit or closed. Closed. Always closed. And coming back to your other question, or not yours, Wilson question. BCPNP Tech Pilot is provincial um, provincial program to immigrate to Canada. So you have the Canadian one, which is Canadian wide, the federal one. You have the provincial one. And inside the provincial ones, you also have extra programs. So mine was the federal one, but for people who had studied and worked in Canada for more than a year. It's called Canadian Experience Class. BCPNP has the same Canadian Experience Class, but just provincial. So as you can see, it's a completely mess. But the CPNP Tech Pilot is one of the fastest that I have been seeing. They are moving very fast. And although they're saying it's gonna finish, I don't know. We don't know. No one knows. We don't do BC Pilot. We don't do the Tech Pilot. We don't do the way we hire is through a closed work permit. So it's different than provincial or federal specific case for each person. This is like the company is going to prove that you are the right candidate because you have the right fit. We couldn't find in Canada, so we're going to generate this letter called LMIA that will agree company, VanHack, and Canadian government that we need you here. And that's how you're going to get the closed job offer, the closed work permit. Yes. Because the closed means that you're going to be able to work only for the company that generated this letter. You cannot change jobs. If you do change jobs for another reason, you have to restart your work permit. I hope that the BC Tech Pilot becomes permanent. Yeah, me too. I can see how helpful it's been. It's been huge in terms of bringing smart people, increasing the number of companies coming to Vancouver. So like the economy is growing very fast. And I think the big reason is BC Tech Pilot. On top of that, just so you know, BC has a very interesting provincial program. But last week or 2 weeks ago, we had like 27,000 people being invited to express entry. So my recommendation is research, research, research. If possible, hire someone to help you out because there are so many different projects and so many different processes that you can find to get to Canada. We are just trying to make it easier. I guess that's the point. I got hired and moved to Canada. I will receive a PR. No, you won't. You will receive a closed work permit. But when you have a year of work experience, you can get a PR. When you are in BC Tech Pilot, you can get a PR. So being here, working here will help you get the PR, but we don't provide PR. Yes, you have to apply to Express Entry or PCPNP to get your PR. I have 6 years of experience as a software engineer in India, but I have a career gap of 4 years. I recently graduated in my Master of Computer Science and System, December 22, and I'm looking to relaunch myself into the software industry. Would the career gap affect my chances of getting a job interview? Biggest answer, no, it wouldn't, but we are in a such competitive moment that it might. So what I'm trying to say is that a gap is not the problem, but having been out of the industry for 4 years, people may assume you are not up to date with your skills, but you do have your masters. So you are. It's not the case. It's not your case. If even if you were on maternity leave and you didn't have your masters, and you have maybe 2 years of maternity leave or parental leave, or even if you decide to change careers for 2 years, but you kept up with your skills, that's less of a problem. Being a master, I don't see as a problem, but like I said, the company will decide. It's hard to say. What I can tell you is that in Canada, gaps are not a problem. The way I should show them that you still have the skills, that you are ready to take this new challenge, is GitHub Code Challenge, portfolio. The best way you can build your portfolio, like participating in hackathons, anything that can show that you know what you're doing. These 4 years, it's nothing to worry about because you are up to date with your skills. But at the same time, you have to write a resume, a cover letter, a profile that can say that. So for example, in your case, master, it might be that you did a research. I would maybe consider to either add on my side project, the research you did, or even as a work experience, but maybe add as unpaid work experience or volunteer work experience, or your own company research. Because if it makes sense, overall, they can see this was not just you. Like me, I became a career coach. It's completely different than petroleum engineer. Let's say I'm going back to petroleum engineer. I have no information about what changes came up on the market. I don't know what are the new tools that came up on those 3 years that I'm doing something else. If I catch up and I show that, I will have a bigger chance. But if I did not, I will have a lower chance because it's a very competitive market. I know it's not a yes or no question, but I like to give you like all the scenarios so you can come to your own decision. Are we good? Any more questions? You're welcome. If you have any more questions, I can stay here for a few more minutes. If not, I guess we covered everything that was important to get your job abroad. And I can let you go and hope to see you again. I think my resume is too long. Do you help us on that? I don't. Premium Academy has an extra feature that helps with profile and resume. What I can help you is like too long is above 2 pages. If you still have less than 2 pages, you're good. That's kind of like a rule of thumb. 6 pages, we also change that. No one is gonna read. Do you know how long normally not a recruiter in VanHack because we have other features, but overall in the market, you know how long someone in HR would take to look a resume? 6 to 8 seconds. So that's pretty insane. That's the reason bullet points is important. Highlighting whatever is important is important. Having a short one, it's important. But avoid going with like graphics and different things because we don't know if they will have enough time, although this would be the easiest way to use those 6 seconds. One last question, sure, and don't apologize. Is there anyone at VanHack who I can reach out to review my resume if it's tailored and cover letter, yes, to cover the gaps, list, okay, to help you out, cover the gaps. The yes or no is no, but I feel like we have Marina, she revised all the profiles to our for our, let me show our premium page. VanHack Premium. And she can give you some ideas. If she doesn't exactly know, she can reach out to the recruiters and ask for more suggestions. But it's more about the profile which is kind of your resume in a way. So that could be good. Oh no, this is the company one. Let me get the free one. But it's not exactly to help you out. She's going to give you like a full feedback on your profile. I don't think she will be able to, oh, do this, do that, think this, think that. I think that would be a little tricky. Premium Academy. Can you see this big lady? Or okay, cool. So here is what you can have with Premium Academy. You can improve your interview skills, craft a profile. Like every month you can ask for a profile review, networking, and a lot of classes. So like more than 40 classes a month, always targeting informational interview or behavioral interview or tech interview. The hours are here. Like I said, the review of the profile, the exclusive Slack channel, exclusive webinars, and here's the price, monthly, quarter, and semi-annual. You still have 30 days your money back, and I guess that's kind of the full thing. But you have questions here if you want to. And if you want to talk to someone, our Slack channel, you can look for Camila. So if you come to our Slack channel and search for VanHack-Camila, she's the person who helps out with all the premium. So you can ask more questions to her. Okay. Well, thank you very much. It was great in having you all here. Thank you for staying by the end. And I hope to see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Bye-bye. You're welcome, everyone.